Well, in December 2017, the Veterans Administration expressed interest in outpatient clinic space in an area stretching from Stafford County to Spotsylvania County, mainly along Interstate I-95 corridor. When Congress authorized the funding for fiscal year 2017, it was the largest lease procurement the VA had undertaken. After a considerable stall in the process, the federal government is now accepting lease proposals to build a new VA hospital in our area. The deadline looms on December 23rd at 4 p.m. The new facilities will enable the VA to expand primary care, mental health, specialty care services, and other services to veterans, as well as bring hundreds of jobs to the area. The city has been working since 2017 to get the proposed Hilton tract ready for consideration. This is a 90-acre undeveloped area between Route 3 and Cowan Boulevard to the east of I-95. City Council has rezoned the property, and city staff are working with the tract's owners on extending Gateway Boulevard through it from Cowan Boulevard to State Route 3. Stafford and Spotsylvania counties are also vying to qualify as well. Senator Mark Warner, Democrat of Virginia, said that hospitals are essential for veterans in Virginia who face long wait times due to insufficient capacity at existing VA medical facilities and a fast-growing veteran population, and has pushed to expedite the stalled process. He said, "Our veterans deserve access to top-quality medical care." After successfully pushing the OMB and the congressional committees to expeditiously approve the Fredericksburg outpatient clinic prospectus, I have continued to put pressure on the Department of Veterans Affairs and the General Services Administration to get this long-promised facility up and running. While this announcement is an important step toward the progress of this critically needed facility, I remain committed to seeing through the completion of this project. The earliest the Fredericksburg facility could open would be 36 months after the date of the lease award or acceptance of the space. The VA will lease the new outpatient clinic from whoever builds it for a maximum of 20 years. This lease prospectus for the hospital calls for a maximum of just under 427,000 square feet of building space and 2,600 parking spaces. The new hospital will consolidate and replace two area community-based outpatient VA clinics, one in Executive Center Parkway near Mary Washington Hospital and the other on Spotsylvania Avenue in the Lees Hill Medical Plaza. Their combined space, when vacated, will occupy approximately 5% of the new facility. This prospectus provides an interim space lease to the VA until a new outpatient clinic opens. A Vacos Company's affiliate recently awarded a 10-year lease for a third community-based outpatient clinic in Massaponax. It will open in Vacos' former headquarters in the South Point 1 commercial development.
That is very exciting news and a good lead into this story.
Absolutely.
A little personal recollection. Veterans Day is coming up, and I wanted to share a long ago lesson I learned about veterans. It was back in 1978, and I was a student at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. I lived in a dorm in the center of the city and went to church nearby. It was the Hope Park Buccleuch Methodist Church, and the minister, the Reverend McPherson, was kind, thoughtful, and very good with young people, something I really appreciated. I liked him a lot. He was also rather hefty. I remember the clerical collar fit rather tightly. Too many after-service cookies, I think. He admitted that frequently, by the way. But I remember one Sunday, the Sunday nearest the 11th of November, our Veterans Day, noticing that he was wearing a medal around his neck. On Remembrance Day in Britain, it's common for British war veterans to wear their service medals. Could this man, so charming, so kindly, and so addicted to sweets and cookies, have been a soldier? I guess so, and I asked very nicely, but perhaps just a bit too brashly, I was 20 after all, what the medal was. Even today I remember how embarrassed and how stunned I was. He touched it gently and said, "This is the Victoria Cross, David. That's on a par with our Medal of Honor." I don't recall what I said, but that doesn't matter because there was this late middle-aged man, a minister, who had won his country's highest honor for bravery. From that point on, I came to realize that veterans, and yes, heroes, don't always fit a common profile. They're our fellow citizens. But that said, they're special. They are people who, when called, served their country in uniform. They could be the old man or old woman going for a morning walk in your neighborhood. There are neighbors, co-workers, and friends. I have several. veterans, many not even 25 in my classes at VCU. In other words, they're us. So with that in mind, this November 11th, CVTV wants to offer a special thank you to those remarkable men and women who have served their country in uniform. And now to George with the sports.
Thanks, guys. George Kerns here for CVTV Sports. Congrats to the Washington Nationals for winning Game 7 of the World Series and beating the Houston Astros to become Major League Baseball champions. Max Scherzer had good pitching, and Kendrick and Rendon hit homers, and Adam Eaton drove in a run, and the Nationals shocked the world by beating the Astros 4-3. No one gave them a chance this postseason, not even to beat Milwaukee in the wild card and the Dodgers or the Cardinals, and they swept them 4-0, and most of all against the Astros. But they proved people wrong. Congrats to the Nationals on a good season. In NFL news, the Washington Redskins' woes continue as they have not scored a touchdown in 13 quarters. The Skins are 1-8 and now have a bye week to try to clean up some things. The Baltimore Ravens beat New England Sunday night 37-20 behind the running and quick thinking of quarterback Lamar Jackson. Baltimore 6-2 and have a 2-game lead over Pittsburgh in the AFC North. San Francisco is the only unbeaten team left in the NFL at 8-0. They host Seattle Monday night on ESPN at 8:20 on November 11th. In NASCAR news, Kevin Harvick won in Texas this past weekend and is taking one of NASCAR's championship contending spots for NASCAR's season finale. In college football, Ohio State takes over as number 1, LSU is 2, and Alabama is 3. Penn State is 4th, leaving Clemson at 5th. Big game this Saturday on CBS at 3:30, LSU at Alabama Crimson Tide. College game day will be in Tuscaloosa in Alabama Saturday morning at 9 o'clock on ESPN. UVA beat North Carolina this past Saturday 38-31. Virginia Tech lost to Notre Dame 21-20. In NBA news, the Washington Wizards are 2-4 and in dead last in their division heading into Indiana on Wednesday night. In NHL news, the Capitals are 11-2 with 25 points atop their division. Well, that's all the time I have for sports. I'm George Kerns for CVTV Sports. Back to you guys.
That's all the news we have for you this weekend. Thank you for welcoming us into your home.
We at CVTV News, thank you, and we'll be here to see you next week. Bye for now.